All praise, glory, and honor be to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Bahasham Rakam Kodesh. Kalalalim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakam Kodesh. That's the Hebrew, the pure language. Alright, and Yahweh is the true name, as I mentioned. Yahweh is the true name of the Almighty, and Yahushai is the true name for the Son of the Almighty, our Lord and Savior, sent by the Most High to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel from the coming destruction out of the hand of the enemy. The enemy, which are the so-called white man predominantly, are mainly, and all the other nations are our enemy, but primarily, let me not say primarily our arch enemy, you know what I mean, the one that done have done severe damage, you know what I mean, mentally and physically to our people, is the so-called white man, and is still doing so. Double honors to all apostles of James, giving a stone and salutations to you, Aki, and pushing this word with our sincerity and our truth. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, West Indians are the real Israelites. We're the chosen people of the Heavenly Father. Now, let's just get right into it. This won't be long. Start with Psalms 10 and 8. He is seated in the lurking places of the village. And who is that talking about? Talking about the wicked. Alright, start reading from 1, talking about the wicked, and the scripture tell you with wicked, Edom is the border of wickedness. So the Edomites, the so-called white people today, which are the Edomites, let me stress that they are the wicked. Alright, so-called white man, his nationality, his true nationality is that he's an Edomite. Alright, his lineage go back to Edom. His forefather is Esau. He seated in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places does he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. So yeah, I want to start off with that. And this lesson is really reading something about this person by the name of Alan Frank Guttmacher. Zin. He is the founder of Planned Parenthood. So we're just gonna read a little thing about this cracker here. It's Alan Frank Guttmacher, 19, 19th of May, 1898. Wait. Let's keep that. Was an American obstetrician, gynecologist. He served as a president of Planned Parenthood. So so first he served as the president of Planned Parenthood, which we all know what that is about, and the vice president of American Eugenic Society. So just to highlight the entities or the bodies that this man actually are a part of. So you have the Planned Parenthood, see, which is to actually they are all about sterilization, and this society also is all about the sterilization, especially of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American women, men and women. Marco founded the American Association of Planned Parenthood Physicians, now known as Association of Reproductive Health Professionals, see, as a forum for physicians to discuss the birth control pill. All right, and birth control is a thing that they create, man. That a lot of old people, what I mean, are actually hooked on that, and it does damage hormone imbalance, what I mean, among other things, man, that have done, especially to the women, but especially the women of our nation, they a lot of them want this. A lot of them is according to those, circumstances, situation, what I mean, that it's a lot of things, man. Seeing, but either way, these bodies are these entities that they set up is to destroy our people and other advances in the field. He founded the Association for the Study of Abortion, which is what? An association of murder. See, so this man, if you just realize, what I mean, the things that he they are a part of, is this whole agenda, what I mean, is for what? To depopulate the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native American race. and that's what sterilization is all about. In 1964, so he founded Association for Study of Abortion. He was a member of the Association for Voluntary Sterilization, and that wasn't even voluntary for a lot of people. The Guttmacher Institute is named after him. So I'm gonna play a little video concerning let me see. Oh, that's not it. Ah boy. I'm gonna have to play just the audio because a lady who was actually sterilized back in the, I forgot the year, but it was way back. She actually, let me just play it.
Insisted that there was no hope for Elaine, that she got along poorly with other children, and that an IQ test showed that she was feeble-minded.
And this lady, man, she was raped, by a so-called white man at the age of 13. And when them find out that she's pregnant, she'll find out that she's pregnant, then she go in to one of these institutions, man. And, you know, they deem her, they don't ask her if she good. They don't ask her if she okay, if she's sick, yes or no. You know what I mean? They just write her off, send her straight to be sterilized. But let's just speak.
No one asked me, what's wrong? Can I help you? Are you hungry? Are you cold? Maybe I was sick. No one took the time to find out what was the problem.
Elaine discovered the board had completely ignored another evaluation they received by a psychologist who said her chief problem was her environment. She was doing above average work in school, and any difficulty she had getting along with others was likely due to the fact that she was always being bullied by other students and was generally hungry. The board favored the social worker's recommendation.
I had my son and I woke up in bandages, not knowing what it was for. They went inside of me and sterilized me without my knowledge because I was black, poor, and my mother was in a prison. My dad was running around. He was an alcoholic. My mother was an alcoholic. So they automatically assumed that I was going to become an alcoholic. And then, without even my son as a baby, automatically assuming that he was the third generation and that he was going to be an alcoholic also. What they wanted to do was nip it in the bud right then. Stop this family tree. They want to cut the tree down. And I want to know who in the world give these people the right to go and do these sort of things to another human being.
Yeah, and here when she go to the institute, was it was, she said it was at five white men who actually did that. You know what I mean? They knock her out, put her up on whatever drugs, you know what I mean, to make her unconscious, sterilize her, and you know, little she know though that it's bigger than just stopping a bit of, you know wasn't about no alcoholic behavior, man. I know alcoholic being no alcoholic. This thing go way back. All right. The poor, he say what? In the secret places of in the secret places that he murder the innocent. All right, and the innocent, yeah, he said his eyes is privileged set against the poor. The innocent, the poor, is referring to the Israelites, our people. Psalm 83, verse 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So that's what their agenda and their aim is, to cut off our people from being a nation. And they go down further, they said they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. That's what they come together. They know who we are. They know that they had vengeance in their heart for us, are not even say vengeance. They have evil mentality in them against us because of the birthright, because of what happened between Esau and Jacob. The scripture say what? He kept his wrath forever. And who is that? The tabernacles of Edom. Why is Edom the first one mentioned? All right, he is mentioned more than once because he was mentioned as the Amalek, which are what the chief ones of Edom. So why Edom get mentioned first? All right, the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites and Moab and the Agarites, the Ishmaelites, which are the Arabs, Moab, which are Chinese, and Algerians, man. All right. So it lists all the other nations coming down that actually come together. That hey, we're gonna cut off these people from being a nation. So when you see these sterilization, the birth control, the abortion, especially targeted disease, a lot of these things are genetically targeted, are race targeted. You know what I mean, to one particular race, whether you believe it or not. So then we read it again. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So that's what you people fail to realize, that you are the Israelites and you have some very serious enemies, man. All right? And one of those prime enemies are Edom, is Edom, by so-called white man. This is Amos 1 and 11. Amos 1 and 11. Thus saith the Lord, for the transgression of Edom. So the Heavenly Father is calling out Edom, man. You know what I mean, for what he has done. And for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So the Heavenly Father say what? You're not going to escape my punishment because of what they did to people. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword. So I told you, this is some birthright thing. This is coming back from something that happened between Esau and Jacob. Alright, and they have vengeance in their heart from them. See? Because he have said, because he have pursued his brother with the sword. And the sword come in many different fashion, many different ways. Planned Parenthood is a source, is a sword. Sterilization, pharmaceutical drugs, zinc, birth control pills, you name it, is a sword. These are some of the apparatus that the elite of Edom actually put together to target our people. Men, fuck if you want to say other people, other nations, man, fuck that. You need to realize that your nation is under attack. Your people, us, are under attack, man. And we've been under attack ever since, man. We came over here, ever since slavery. See? And did cast off all pity. So he did pursue his brother this way, and did cast off all pity. And his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So, regardless if you want to say, I have white friends, you know, they are good white people, you're gonna know when the time of adversity comes that there is no such thing as a good white white man or a good Edomite. Because as long as their lineage go back to that of an Edomite, there's no such thing as a good Edomite man. Scripture says him create them to be wicked. Him create them to be the vessel of dishonor. Him create them to be the deceiver. Alright? So you can't make him straight, man. He was made crooked. You can't make him straight. The Heavenly Father make him crooked. You can't make him straight. He did cast off our pity. So he cast off our pity. And that's why the lady said what? They didn't ask her if she was sick. They didn't feel any form of sorrow, you know what I mean, for her, man. They just went straight away, man. Knock her out with whatever drug they use and just sterilize her, man. And this is just a snippet of what they do. This is just a very small, um, you know, thing to what the so-called white man have been doing, to whole people, man, for over the years. See? So I hope this lesson was edifying. Just read a little information on this founder for Planned Parenthood, Alan Guttmacher, Zane, which is a devil, so-called white man. Zane, let me see if I can them have a picture of him. See if them have any picture of him. Yeah, a devil, man. Zane, a devil. Shalom.